Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of my team review series. So this is episode number 3 in this little mini series, and I am really surprised actually with this many episodes into this kind of little series as we are. And the reason we're back again today with another team review episode is over the weekend I thought a lot about last week and the battles that we had and the content I was kind of putting out. And to be honest, I was super disappointed with how things worked out last week, and I just wanted to kind of reevaluate the team, get some more ideas, get something a bit more solid, so I can actually produce better content for you guys. Because the teams last week, on paper and in my head, they seemed great ideas, and that's fine. That's fine. You've got to have ideas all the time, and it's good to test them. But sometimes it's kind of knowing when to kind of put them to one side. And I really feel like I want to do that with that team at the minute and those ideas. I just don't feel like at this point in the metagame and how teams are being used, I don't feel like we can optimally use those ideas well. So what I'm going to do to go forward with this is create a new team. I've put a bit of effort into it over the weekend, a lot of time with it, so hopefully we'll produce some better content going forward. So I'm just going to take this episode to kind of explain through the new team, the new ideas. We went back to a few things that we have used in the past and brought them in, concepts, and we've got a few new things as well. So hopefully this week will be way better. I just feel like last week's attempts were just, the content wasn't ideal, and when I put content out for you guys, I want to be putting things that are beneficial for you and things that are going to be entertaining for you and things that you can kind of pick up and learn from. And I don't really feel as though there was much of that from the School of Hard Knocks episodes, at least, that I put out last week. And I'm not happy with the team at all. And there's some nice ideas in there, but the thing is, it's getting them to work. Like I say, it's always good. Test your ideas out, but you don't have to stick with them if they're not working or if they don't feel right at the time. And remember that always things that you can always come back to at another point. You might be building another team 6 months, 4 months down the line, whatever, and think, oh, I need to cover that. And you keep a record of what you've done, and you can go back and think, well, it didn't work in that team, but it actually works. It could work now, so let's try it out. And you've got all the work done for the EV spreads and stuff like that. You can always tweak them and things like that. But what I'm trying to say is, don't scrap your ideas completely. Just move on to new ones and test those out and see how you do. So that's what we're going to do this week. Like I say, over this weekend, it's just gone. I have put a lot of work into a new team to take into next week, hopefully the week after that, and maybe the week after that. But like I keep saying with these little review videos, we can always come back to the team and have a look and review. But what I'm going to do this week or next week when we do our next one of these, we'll pull up the videos, we'll pull up the battle videos that we've had issues with. And we'll go over the points and we'll do a full analysis of the actual videos and make points where, all right, that's where we went wrong, or that's where that Pokemon should have switched out, or we needed something to switch in that situation, or we needed something to tech for this setup, or whatever. So that's what we'll do, and then we'll move on from there, and then we'll reevaluate the team and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's get into the team itself. So as you can see on your screen right now, we've got the team of Garchomp. I brought back Talonflame, brought back Kartana, we brought in Tapu Fini. We've got Nihilego as something that we haven't used before, and we round off the team with Vigavolt. So just to quickly go through things, I'm using, and I've decided to use Assault Vest Garchomp. Now, Assault Vest Garchomp was quite predominant in the early stages of metagame, and it's kind of fallen away now because you've got Grandroom Z and Garchomp, which has picked up a lot of popularity. Scarf Garchomp now is growing in popularity as well. But I do feel like Assault Vest Garchomp fits on this team very well, I think. And I think it's got a lot of merits in the current metagame as well. So we'll go into the damage calculations in a minute, and we can cover over those. I brought Talonflame back And I have changed the setup a bit. We've put Protect on it this time. I've kept everything else pretty much the same. We've just replaced Tailwind with Protect. And that's because we've got another form of speed control in the team, but we can get into that a bit later on. And I don't feel like the Pokemon I've got here are built in a certain way that they don't really have to rely on Tailwind so much. And I feel like Talonflame will definitely benefit more from the Protect. And the games that we've played in the past where I couldn't protect against a fake out user, for instance, so it forces me to switch. So straight away it's put me in such a really bad position because my opponent may be able to see through that and then just get a double attack into that slot, knowing that I can't protect. So I think with the Protect, it's also keeping the Gale Wings ability intact as well. So, and it's obviously just Protect's a great move as well, just to have for kind of maneuvering your Pokemon around and shuffling your board positions as well. So the testing I've done with it, I haven't regretted, and I think it's probably a better move. So hopefully we see that through this week's episode. And the next Pokemon is Kartana. Now, this is a little bit of a different Kartana than we have used. We've obviously used the Focus Sash Kartana and an Assault Vest Kartana. But this Kartana has Grassing Z. So we've got the Bloom Doom, Z move, we've got Smart Strike, Protect, and Substitute. So this is kind of taken from two areas. Substitute is picking up a lot of popularity in Japan at the minute, and I wanted to try it as soon as I heard about it. And also Marcus, his videos when he's doing his metagame analysis at the moment, he mentions the Kartana with Substitute and also the benefits of it, and it really makes sense and it is very good. And through testing that I've done off screen just on Showdown, it's been really good. So hopefully we can kind of showcase that through these episodes as well. Tapu Fini is slightly different as well. Shouldn't have SOHK on there. I don't know why that's there. That's crazy. But yeah, we've got a weakness policy, Tapu Fini. It's got a weird EV spread, but it does work for certain things. And we'll, as I said, go on to the damage calculations in a minute. Also gives me Misty Terrain as well, which is one of the things with the Assault Vest Garchomp. I want to run Adamant, but one of the issues with running Adamant is, especially on this speed tier, I bumped into quite a few Arcanines prior to adding the Tapu Fini to the team, and they would just Will-O-Wisp Garchomp and shut it down straight away. So they'd be like max speed Arcanines, and like I was almost forced to run Jolly Garchomp in place of the Adamant one, just to kind of get around that and get an attack off first before being burnt. But with the Fini in the team and the Misty Terrain in the team, it kind of prevents me from needing to run the Jolly, so I can get I can maximize its attack stat, and I can still hit a low speed tier and bulk it out a bit more. So it works quite nicely that way. So we have the Fini, and then we've got Nihilego. I went for a Focus Sash variant. That kind of just gives us a bit more security against Scarfed Garchomps. Also against like a lot of other threats that will one-hit KO, and then you can always make sure that you're going to get the attack off that you need, because it's going to be hitting super hard. And also, if you get a Beast Boost, it's forcing your opponent to really double into it with two faster Pokemon if you're threatening them anywhere with either of the stabs from Nihilego. And I've opted for Hidden Power Ice as well, which works quite nicely with Talonflame. So I can lead Talonflame, Nihilego, and as long as Garchomp isn't scarfed, for instance, I can Supersonic Sky Strike and Hidden Power Ice into it, and it will pick up the KO. But these are things I can hopefully kind of showcase when we do the episodes of School Hard Knocks this week. Anyway, so I really like Nihilego. It offers a lot of support against a lot of big threats at the minute. Obviously, we've got the Hidden Power Ice for Garchomp, we've got the Power Gem for Arcanines, for Marowak, for Gyarados, and things like that. Sludge Bomb's pretty self-explanatory for all the Tapus at the minute, so it's hitting them super hard. And then our last Pokemon that we've got in the team is Vigavolt. Now, I haven't used Vigavolt this season at all, and this should be Citrus Berry, sorry, and I will explain that again in the damage calculations. So, it's again, a bit of a weird EV spread, and I don't know how popular this moveset is. It just makes sense for the team. Obviously, we've got 2-stab moves in Thunderbolt and Bugbear, so we're hitting things as hard as possible. I felt like the team needed an electric type attacker on there. We've got obviously a fire type coverage move with the Garchomp, and we have stab fire with the Talonflame for steel types, and like namely Kartana, Celesteela, etc. But for Celesteela in particular, I wanted an electric type. I originally had Tapu Koko in this slot, and I had the Melodic over the Tapu Fini, but I've obviously changed those up. But the other thing that Vigavolt obviously offers is it's got Levitate, so it's another Pokemon I can sit next to Garchomp and freely Earthquake with alongside Talonflame, so that's quite nice. I've got Protect on it, which is pretty standard, and I have String Shot, which is a super interesting move. So it's a double target move. When you use it, it hits both of the opposing Pokemon, and it lowers their speed by 2. It decreases their speed by 2, so like 2 speed drops. So it's a pretty powerful. It's like a double Icy Wind with 100%. Oh no, it's not 100% accurate, but a 95% accurate. So same accuracy as Icy Wind, but it hits. It's doubling the speed drop, which is pretty huge. So it's meaning that like for instance, I've hardly got any investment in my Tapu Fini hitting 110 speed, but after a String Shot. On like say Pheromosa, my Tapu Fini is outspeeding it because of that huge speed drop. So it's like kind of like a T-Wave in this format anyway. So it's pretty powerful. I opted obviously for the Heal Pulse on Tapu Fini because I've got quite a lot of I've obviously got the bulky Garchomp, I've got a bulky Vigavolt that's going to be like a method of speed control, so just being able to sit next to that and keep it on the field for as long as possible to keep pressure on my opponents, pretty nice. I've got Kartana with the substitutes, so being able to Heal Pulse that backup is quite nice. So all in all, it seems like it is kind of coming together, but we need to take it and test it on the Battle Spot ladder. So that's what we're going to do with it. But before we finish, I will quickly go over some damage calculations and stuff like that. So the Assault Vest Garchomp, one of the main things I wanted to survive was, I think it's Paul Show was using a Twinkle Tackle Tapu Koko. I can't remember which regional it was. It was a recent regional. He won the whole thing. He had a really well put together team, and one of the things his Tapu Koko had on was the Fairy Z, which he used to when he went interviewed, saying that he wanted to pick the KO up on Garchomps, which is huge, and it's such a good tech because it's so unexpected. But that was one thing with the Assault Vest I thought I definitely need to be able to survive, so we easily take that with Garchomp from full health, obviously. The other thing I wanted to make sure that I was doing against Tapu Koko was making sure that the Dazzling Gleam from a Life Orb Tim and Tapu Koko was a 3-hit KO, which is nice. Earthquake, when we're not intimidated, should be picking up the KO clean onto Tapu Koko on a double target, so that's quite nice. So yeah, a Life Orbed Modest Tapu Lele Moonblast. That is a 2-hit KO, so that's another calc that I want to hit. Pheromosa Ice Beam, it's got a 6.3 chance to 1-hit KO. I think that's a standard Pheromosa on my Garchomp, which is pretty nice. And we can see that the Fire Fang's picking up the KO in return. We've got, the 44 in defense is basically just to make sure opposing Garchomps, if their Jolly Tectonic Rage isn't picking up the KO against my Garchomp. So that's primarily that. The speed tier we've got is to make sure that we're outspeeding. Let's go back. So yeah, so a base 95s with the neutral nature, max speed. So we're outspeeding things like Tapu Lele, Modest Tapu Lele by 1 point, Modest Adamant, Arcanine, etc. So that was the speed tier that I wanted to kind of just make sure we were getting a jump on. And we'll move on to Kartana. So, yeah, this is the main thing with Kartana. The rest of it, obviously, I wanted to make sure it's max speed. So at the very least, I'll be speed time with things like Ninetales, The other thing I wanted to do, and the most important thing that I think the whole set, the premise behind the Gracium Z was to make sure that I could pick up a KO onto Tapu Fini, the standard bulky Tapu Fini, with the Bloom Doom on -1, so after an Intimidate, which this does. The rest of obviously we've got max speed, just to, obviously, like I said, speed tie with things like Ninetales. The only issue is with running Sub Protect, we are losing Sacred Sword. So we're not going to be able to hit opposing Kartanas too hard. But I feel like we've got enough in the team with Talonflame. We've also got Garchomp that can hit pretty hard. Let's go back and see what else is in the team. And we've got Vigavolt that does a decent enough job against it. So we're not terribly struggling, obviously, against Kartana. We have to be careful and play around it because it has a potential to KO my Kartana, my Tapu Fini, and my Nihilego. But like I say, we just need to be careful with it and play around it a little bit more than we probably would normally need to. So where were we? So we've got that Leaf Blade calc, and that was the big one. The rest of the investment was just put into special defense and HP, just to make sure I survive things like Scarf Tapu Lele, Modest Tapu Lele 100% of the time, and I can get the KO back and things like that. And what else? Yeah, so in like Ninetales Blizzards and stuff like that, because I don't want to be just getting KO'd clean KO and things like that. So that was just why I didn't really feel like I needed to invest any more into attack, and the extra bulk does help out slightly. So let's move on. So my Tapu Fini, this was one big calc that I wanted to. I'm running a ball Tapu Fini and I'm running the weakness policy on it. So this is one big calc that I wanted to make sure I could survive, and it works out pretty nicely, to be honest, which is a jolly max attack Kartana Leaf Blade and 99% damage maximum. So that will ideally, potentially most of the time, unless it critical hits, I'll survive, the weakness policy activate, and I can choose to Moonblast into the Kartana, and if it's 4 HP, just no invest Kartana, I will pick up the KO on +2 with the Moonblast, so that's pretty nice. Another calculation is in Misty Terrain, always being able to take the T-Bolt from a opposing Tapu Koko with a Life Orb, and again KO back on the +2 with a Moonblast, and that's just on the standard Tapu Koko. And the last thing I think I went over as well, I think there's one more after this, was Arcanine Adamant with the Z Wild Charge, Gigavolt Havoc. I always survive that, and then obviously a +2, because the weakness policy I'll activate will KO the Arcanine in return. Let's see what else. So yeah, that's all. I think that's pretty much those calculations. So we'll see how this Tapu Fini works out. Obviously, it's got Heal Pulse to kind of support the team as well. But with the weakness policy, it can be quite threatening. So we will see how that works out. It's just a little bit different, and I thought it'd be nice to try that out on the videos this week. Let's move on to Vigavolt. So Vigavolt was a bit of a strange one. I originally had the Figgy Berry here, but I kind of, after doing quite a few calculations on different moves, etc., Citrus Berry definitely works out a lot better. And this is just the example I'm kind of pulling up to show you why. So against a Jolly Garchomp, a Rock Slide is doing 34 to 40%. So it's a guaranteed 4-hit KO after the Citrus Berry recovery. And with our special attack investment, we're guaranteeing a 2-hit KO on the Garchomp. So there is room there to take at least one flinch from the Rock Slide and then be able to pick the KO up still. But if we change this to, say, just the Figgy Berry or one of the Super Berries, that Rock Slide changes to a guaranteed 3-hit KO, because he's able to potentially get 2 Rock Slides off, not activate the Figgy Berry, and then get a middle-ish to a highish roll again, and he'll definitely pick up the KO. So the berry's not activating. And because we haven't got gluttony or anything on the Vigavolt, it's not really making too much sense, where the citrus berry in a lot of situations for these damage calculations is definitely the better option here. So that was that. And the last calc, yeah, so just the investment here. Obviously, the defense just helps it last a bit longer, helps it be able to get those string shots, that speed control off for the rest of the team, so it's sitting on the field a bit longer. And the special defense investment allows it to always survive a power gem from just a timid 252 Nihilego. So they're just a few quick calculations that I've went over there, but this is the kind of overall team so far. What I will do is put a paste bin of the team in the comment section below, and we will wrap things up there. And I will see you probably in an hour or so with the first episode this week of the School of Hard Knocks. And hopefully, guys, we're going to have a brilliant week this week. Give you guys some good content and showcase some of the magic of this team. So, thanks for watching, guys. If you've enjoyed the episode, as always, hit the like button. It's massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will make it a habit of doing these review videos. The response I've had so far has been brilliant, and you guys are always great. So if you're enjoying them, it's something I'll definitely keep doing. But I think, like I said, the next one we do, hopefully we've had a few more battles under our belt, and we'll go back to those battles in this kind of style video. And we'll do analysis of the battles and then come back to the team and do change-ups like that. So we'll keep on improving it. And if that's something that sounds like you'd be interested in, let me know. If there's other things you kind of want to see added that I've missed out and you want me to cover as well, also leave a comment. And it's always great to just hear what you guys are thinking anyway. So thanks for watching, guys. And until later, I will see you later. So take care and bye-bye.